basically proves that when you put a certain energy in a certain direction, that it attracts reciprocal energy back. So if you were to translate that into your wishes and your desires and what you want for yourself in your life or for your family in your life, that would mean there is physical evidence that if you put good vibrations and good energy out, there is a good chance that positive things along the lines of what you're looking for would be coming back. To find out what kind of a creator are you. So imagine you were a sculptor and you were standing in front of a brand new block of marble. Or if you were a carver and you were standing in front of a brand new block of wood. Or if you're a painter and you're standing in front of a brand new blank canvas. So let other people in your environment know what you are doing, because they can be scouts for you. They can go out and actually help you find the stuff that you need, because that's what ultimately makes the law of attraction really work for you. You bringing the energy, you bringing the discipline, you bringing the dedication, you getting the starting materials, you actually start taking the first steps. And think about what I mentioned about the YouTube algorithm. Make the algorithm see that you're serious. And then the universe is going to come in and people say, oh, I heard about this, I saw your first little things, I saw what you put out. And then you will actually get more and more support in the path of achieving your goal. Hello and welcome to part 4 of our series about the Ideal Wealth Grower Mindset Manual. My name is Axel Meyerhöfer and I'm going to be your host for this episode. Now, we have actually looked into all the different components of the Mindset Manual before, and in parts 1, 2 and 3, the main portion of these 3 parts revolves around how do you actually get yourself into a positive mindset? How do you actually find out where you are right now? How do you actually adopt the diamond model? How do you handle and reduce your limiting beliefs to get more active, more energized, more motivated to actually go after your goals? How do you identify what your economic independence goal actually is, and then go take actions to do it? And like I told you in part 2, when we went over the grower model and how we actually apply that, what are the different steps in the cycle of the grower model so that you can set your goal, or what we call your big, hairy, audacious goal, BHAG, and then take steps on a regular basis going through the grower cycle to get closer to your goals and ultimately realize your big, audacious goal and your vision. So now with part 4, we're getting into a new component of the Mindset Manual, and that has to do with some of the fundamental aspects that guide life and have a lot to do with mindset, both in a direct as well as in an indirect way. And the first component of that you probably have heard about in the past, and that is the law of attraction. And what I want to do in this series today, we focus on the law of attraction. And then in the subsequent episodes of this series, we will look into the other 5 components that really are necessary to make the law of attraction and the other parts of the Mindset Manual really work for you. So I have made some notes again and put some stuff together, because in the Mindset Manual you mainly find exercises, questions and activities that I really want to encourage you to take. But then these videos are supposed to help you and give you additional information, and give additional motivation, additional insights that hopefully in combination with the manual really get you on the right track. So let's dive into the law of attraction, what it is and how you can actually take advantage of it for you and benefit from it. So fundamentally, what does the law of attraction actually mean? And you will see me look a little bit down here every once in a while at my slides, just to kind of remind myself how I actually put the information for this video together for you. So fundamentally, the law of attraction is the idea that you attract in your life what you think about most. So if you have something specific that you really want, that is kind of dominant, that is recurring, that is something that you have been thinking about. The idea of the law of attraction is to say, if you think about it a lot, if you put out good energy, positive energy, you believe that you can really get it, then ultimately it increases the likelihood that you can actually really achieve that goal or really get that particular item or that particular circumstance that you're dreaming about and that you really want for yourself. So is this something new? Is this just been a fad a few years ago that everybody jumped on and then it kind of faded away again, or does it have a more solid foundation? Now, there's one thought, and this is a little bit in the direction of what I oftentimes speak about, the left brain and the right brain. And just as a reminder, the left brain are people who are very direct, very analytical, very systematic, very evidence-based, whereas the right brain, at least in many beliefs, and I agree with this, are people who are a little bit more group-oriented, society-oriented, creative, innovative, artistic, and so forth. But fundamentally, everybody has part of it. It's just what is a little bit more dominant. Some people are more direct and analytical, some people are more creative and artistic, but we all have a little bit of that. So the left brain side, the analytical engineering technology brain side, would say if we go to the law of attraction, there is actually physical evidence, and I mean evidence in physics and in science, that certain situations can exist or can be created that have reactions that are aligned with what the law of attraction actually says, which actually physically proves that when you put a certain energy in a certain direction, that it attracts a reciprocal energy back. So if you were to translate that into your wishes and your desires and what you want for yourself in your life or for your family in your life, that would mean there is physical evidence that if you put good vibrations and good energy out, there is a good chance that positive things along the lines of what you're looking for would be coming back. Now, when you go a little bit on the right brain side, on the philosophical side and on the historic side, you will find there's actually history for that, even though the terms may have been different. So the idea historically for what the law of attraction actually stands for is found in mentions about Buddhism. And Buddha said, what you have become is what you have thought. Which in modern Western translation means if you actually look at how did your life unfold, it is probably along the lines of what you thought and the decisions that you made. Now, in the Western terminology that we are all a little bit more familiar with, that has been translated into karma. And to some extent, it only hits on a little component of the law of attraction or the ideas of Buddha, because karma has kind of evolved more and more into you are here and things are happening to you, and it's kind of karma because you were prone to have those things happen to you, and it takes a little bit away from this you have to make it happen. You have to think it. You have to put energy into it. Whether you call it putting energy into the universe or putting energy into your environment or putting energy into the relationships that you have with other people, so they know what you're looking for and they can scout for you. They can look for you and they can say, oh, you mentioned you wanted this particular book. You mentioned you wanted help in this particular area. I met a fabulous person who is an expert and who I want to introduce to you, so you have a faster path to actually realize that. So karma is kind of a translation, but not really perfect. So a little bit maybe in a more in-depth view, what I wrote down for you is what you give out to the world, be it anger or happiness, hate or love, is ultimately what can return to your own life in the end. Now, if you see those positive and negative things, then naturally what I would recommend for you to do is put out the positive stuff. Put out the positive energy, the love, the happiness, the motivation that you have to achieve something. Now, some people might say, okay, this all sounds good, but a little bit like voodoo, mumbo jumbo, I don't really find very physical things. Now, I would say for those who want evidence, maybe those who see themselves a little bit more on the left brain side, I would say, take a closer look at quantum physics. It's pretty complicated, but it is one way to say, is it real? Now, the other way to look at it and ask yourself, is the law of attraction real, or what's the real component about it, is that it has to do with attitude and how you approach things. And there's always two components: what you believe and say to yourself, and what you allow other people to convince you to do. So if you have a goal, like you want to, for example, accomplish a financial goal, or you want to accomplish something at school, or you want to, for example, write a book or something like that, there is one aspect where people say, I know you and I don't think you can do it. That's the external influence. But the more important thing is your own attitude. And even if it is something that you have never done before, it's your attitude and your energy to say, I can do it, I just need to put my mind to it. And I might not be perfect at it, but if I take the action, then I can do it. So there's a lot of evidence if you go back in your life and ask yourself, okay, if I put my mind to it, if I take on the right attitude, can I do it? Which is basically the first step to attracting the right stuff, because as soon as you put your mind to it, all the associated things typically start appearing. And part of that is because we pay attention to it. Now, when you are really motivated, I'm very sure that you would agree that that makes you energized. It makes you feel the energy when you really truly want something. Which is the other component of the law of attraction, is as soon as you shift your mind into a certain direction and you identify it as a worthwhile goal for yourself, not because other people say so, but because you say so, and now you apply a little bit of energy or more energy to it, then you actually feel that stuff is happening. Now, it's also an indicator if the law of attraction is actually working, is when you ask yourself, what are the circumstances or the situations when you perk up, when you pay attention, when you feel a rush, when you get flustered, when you see or experience something that you have had a desire for. Let's say you are into videos and photography and stuff like that, and you see that the camera that you always wanted suddenly is available 30, 40, 50% off because the company who makes it came up with a new model and now they want to get rid of that older model from their perspective, but super desirable for you. Or if you find out that there's an opportunity to actually get your hands on a car that you always wanted to have, that you always wanted to drive, either making it your own or just having an opportunity. There is, for example, a place in Las Vegas who actually plays a little bit on that thought. They have all these really fancy Lamborghinis and Bugattis and cars that most of us would never be able to afford. But you can rent it for a day, right? So I'm sure if you have any desire in that kind of a direction, and it could be anything else, the opportunity to meet an artist that you like, or a singer that you like, or a musician that you like, or somebody that you really admire, and you have an opportunity to actually meet that person, we perk up, we feel energy, we try to find a way to make it happen if the opportunity appears real. So the way I described it here for you in my slide deck, I said we can rejoice in the truly liberating and empowering realization that we are the creators and controllers of our life, and the energy we apply when we go after something we want. And sometimes that's for a day, and sometimes that's for a whole life, changing your life. So now, how do you actually apply the law of attraction and benefit from it? Now, the first thing I want to say is do the exercises that you find, the list of questions and answers, little brackets and areas where you can fill in the answers to all the different exercises in part 4 of the mindset manual, because that will get you into the groove, into the rhythm, into the behavior of really applying it. And then for your particular situation, because everybody's situation is different, so for your particular situation, what I want you to do is look at your reality and find out what is basically the life of you as a creator. Now, you might say, okay, what does that mean, the life of me as a creator? You want to find out what kind of a creator are you. So imagine you were a sculptor and you were standing in front of a brand new block of marble. Or if you were a carver and you were standing in front of a brand new block of wood. Or if you're a painter and you're standing in front of a brand new blank canvas. Or if you're more on the left brain side and you're a scientist or an engineer, and you're looking at what are interesting problems that are really bugging me, that I really feel I can make a contribution, that I can really get into. So that's kind of like the starting point of a creator. And now you are the one regardless which one of those, and there might be other ones that you apply more for yourself as far as what kind of a creator am I really, but you are the one to decide how do you want to shape the outcomes through the actions that you take. It's not what other people say, it's your decision what actions you want to take. And so sometimes you may have already started, you may have already decided, okay, I want to do these kinds of things. And then the question becomes, are they still energizing and motivating you? And then you keep on that path and you feel that energy and you maybe rededicate. Or if you find out, well, I've gone down a path, I've set certain things that I want to achieve, but it's not really happening. Or maybe I did it for a while, like, we have this thing about New Year's resolutions where a lot of people put exercise or dieting or certain things as a desire, and then they start out for a little while and they find out it's harder than they thought, and then it kind of peters off and goes away. So if you find yourself in still being in the flow and being in the energy of achieving what you want to actually change and the decisions that you have made, then keep doing that. And you will see, if you haven't already, that you attract more and more of the things that you need to actually succeed. But on the other hand, if you find out, I started something, it didn't really go anywhere, what I want you to do is do this exercise and ask yourself, what kind of a creator am I? And what is my starting point? Is it a piece of marble, a piece of wood? Is it a blank canvas? Is it some sort of a problem that I need to put in front of me? So what I wrote down for that is, no matter what you are looking to have or achieve or be in life, if you can hold onto an idea and see it for yourself in your mind's eye, you can make it yours to have with some effort on your part. And that effort is, number one, make a decision you really want it. And then number two, dedicate yourself to be disciplined to keep going. And you will see the law of attraction helps you in such a way that it actually starts bringing you certain things. Now, there is a little analogy, since we are in YouTube, and I wanted to use this as an analogy because a lot of people have heard about the YouTube algorithm. And the analogy here is that thousands of new YouTube channels are being started every month. And what YouTube has realized is that a lot of people start a YouTube channel and then they realize making these videos on a regular basis, getting them edited, writing the scripts, being available, having the right equipment, having the microphone, having the camera, having the lighting, and on and on and on. There are lots and lots of things that in the finished product you expect them to be good, but you only really get into identifying what they are when you really start dedicating yourself. And so what YouTube found out is that out of those thousands of channels that start every month, only a tiny fraction of them actually hang around and get in a rhythm and actually really serve the subscribers. So what the algorithm that actually decides which videos are recommended to you when you have looked at some, and now YouTube makes a recommendation, maybe you're also interested in this one or that one or that one. The algorithm really only kicks in after YouTube's formula has detected that you actually on a regular basis put out videos. And that is the same thing here. The law of attraction is kind of in that sense like the YouTube algorithm. If you say, I want to do something, I want to be that sculptor, and I can imagine this piece of marble ahead of me and I have the tools, and then you do a few little chippings on that piece of marble, but then you don't do anything anymore for a month or 2 or 3, and you're always telling yourself, oh, we'll get back to that. Then the law of attraction is going to say, you're not really serious. What I'm encouraging you to do is be serious, be disciplined, and believe in the fact that if you show that you're serious, that you really want to accomplish something, then believe in the fact that the law of attraction, basically the people around you, the universe around you, the tools around you, all the kinds of things that you will ultimately need to be successful will come to you if you have proven that you're serious. So now that begs the question, what should be your next steps in the context of the law of attraction? And so what I want to say is there are 4 major steps that I wrote down for you that I want to give to you. So in addition to the mindset manual, which has a lot of activities, this is a little bit more in your mind, a little bit more thinking and then actually applying it. So the first next step that you should take is take some time and review what you have developed so far from the mindset manual in the context of what kind of a creator are you really, or want to be? What kind of a creator? Then step number 2 is reflect on your current reality. You take a piece of paper or something that you can write on and identify all the things that you really love and like and want to keep, and then create a list of all the things you don't like so much and that you want to get rid of or that you would want to change. Then step number 3 is find the time by yourself, and it's important that you find a quiet environment where you really can shut off everything, even the family, and determine what kind of creator is easiest for you to imagine. So if you are more on the right brain side, are you a sculptor, carver, painter, scientist, engineer, something like that, where you can focus your creative energy? And then number 2, the sub-step to that is imagine how a new start would need to look like. What do you need to do? Do you need to get a particular area where you work? Do you need a certain set of tools that you need to have? So think about what are your untouched starting materials. I mentioned, the block of marble, the block of wood, the piece of canvas on a scaffolding. That's the starting material, the starting situation. Now for your individual case, ask yourself, what do I need to start? And then be very clear about what the goal is. Where do you want to go? And as soon as you know, okay, I have the goal, I have the conviction and the determination to be disciplined, go out and get yourself those starting materials. And then number 2 in this context is not only go out and get the starting materials, but also let other people in your environment know what you are doing. Because they can be scouts for you. They can go out and actually help you find the stuff that you need. Because that's what ultimately makes the law of attraction really work for you. You bringing the energy, you bringing the discipline, you bringing the dedication, you getting the starting materials, you actually start taking the first steps. And think about what I mentioned about the YouTube algorithm. Make the algorithm see that you're serious. And then the universe is going to come in and people say, oh, I heard about this, I saw your first little things, I saw what you put out. And then you will actually get more and more support in the path of achieving your goal. That's what you attract. You achieve the goal by yourself, but you're attracting the support that you need to be successful. So I hope you understand the law of attraction a little bit better now. You can see how you can apply it and also how it actually fits into the mindset manual, because the very first step is naturally. You have to have a positive mindset and believe in yourself. Get rid of any limiting beliefs and believe in yourself that you can do it. So with that being said, this is part 4 in this mindset manual, and I hope that you appreciated the video. I would like to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, ring the notification bell so that you get notified when we have other episodes. Also in this particular case, go back to the previous episodes because they're all kind of building on each other. So if you're coming to this for the first time, I would recommend watch the other videos and then ring the notification bell so that you know when the next one comes out. And then the one thing that I really would like to ask you as a favor is that you really share the content with your network. As you can see, even though Ideal Wealth Grower is really a platform to help you to become a residential real estate investor and ultimately become a passive income millionaire, but the Mindset Manual series is really applicable all across your life, all across your work, all across the things. If you have the right mindset and you let the law of attraction help you, you will be successful. So if you haven't done it yet, download the free Mindset Manual at idealwealthgrower.com/free and go through the activities and answer all the questions, determine what kind of a creator you are, and then let the environment around you help you to become successful. That's your task for today. I hope you enjoy, be well and be safe, and I see you next time.